Welcome. Today we have our August 2022 monthly reset. This month my main goal is to live a very intentional life, intentional with my time, with my energy, and basically being the very best version of myself and practicing intentional movements, activities, finances, all the things. So if you guys were looking to basically reset for your month of August to live a more intentional life with your time and your space, this is the video for you. We can learn on our way. We are going to start from the beginning of budgeting, all the things. So I'm excited. Welcome to our August 2022 monthly reset. Hey, how are you? My name is Danielle. This is Daniela Diaries, and here we are real friends. We are inspiring to inspire you, me, everyone to basically be the very best version of themselves. And that's whatever that version may mean to you. Not everybody's version is going to be identical. We're all on our different paths on this journey of life, but we're just trying to basically elevate ourselves, be very intentional with our time, with our energy, with our purpose, and to just be happy and live a really good, abundantly filled life, So if you're interested in all those things, I would love for you to stick around, hit the subscribe button, leave a nice comment down below. That really does help out the channel, and share this video. So like I said, I have been really trying to do a mental reset on my own self. If you guys are new, in July of last year, I really just decided that I needed help. So I went out and I sought therapy, and I was doing really, really well. And if you guys are unaware, I do suffer from anxiety that eventually leads to depression. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. There's a lot of things that kind of go into what makes the noggin tick. And I found that therapy had really helped me recover from past traumas and basically identify triggers for myself and help me to recognize the situations and how to basically act in those situations. And I felt that I was really moving forward. I was super positive. I had my life really on a nice routine. And then I want to say probably the end of spring, I thought like I was cured. And summer came around, I fell out of my routines, and I really took a lax state with therapy. I was going maybe like once every 2.5 months. And all the things that I was doing to help maintain that, kind of composure in my life kind of fell off into the back burner. And here I am starting all over again. But the key is I started. And I was really, as I was talking to my therapist, she was, have you been doing this? And I'm like, no, I stopped. So I found that I was the most successful with myself, with my mental health, spiritual, physical, all the health, not just like your heart health, but mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. I was the best when I had a nice structured routine. Somebody such as myself who has such debilitating anxiety, I can't just live free reign. If I have no structure, it becomes very overwhelming for me. And instead of just trying to get everything done, I do absolutely nothing and I shut down. And that will lead to like anger, which then leads to kind of a manic like meltdown, and then will spiral into a depressive state for me. So I have to be aware of the triggers and the steps and the things that follow afterwards, so I can kind of nip it in the bud really quickly. So with saying that, I really wanted to establish a monthly reset routine. I recently have gone down this path and started watching it. I actually seen a girl named Selena Trevino, and I was watching her monthly reset, and I was really inspired by her to create this video because I think it's really important. There's a lot of things that I never practiced, and I wanted to start initiating in my monthly resets into my daily schedule, into my daily routine of life. One of them being on a budget. It's not that I never had a budget, because I've never been budgetless. I just never really paid attention to finances that much. My money was, I paid my bills, and then I would give a little bit, to my husband. My husband would do the investing, but I never really thought anything above it. And that was it. I would kind of just spend as I go. I grew up, you kind of you robbed Peter to pay Paul, so you never really did that. So I really wanted to end that cycle with myself and really help my girls establish a nice budget for themselves and a nice budgeting routine. My oldest daughter's about to be 18, so before she's a senior in high school, before she goes off to college, if I could show her, hey, look, I started to figure out a budget and started budgeting my money, this is how you can do it as well. And we can go from there. So I did see a lot of people will do their monthly resets on like computer, or they'll have like a bullet journal. I am a paper to pen type girl, so I just have this little notebook here, and I keep this at the side of my bed. I just had to buy a new one, and every morning I wake up and I will write down like gratitude. So you'll see like the day of the week, I'll write down like what I'm grateful for, and then I do some I am affirmations, and you know, I'll do a grateful, I am affirmations, and then I even write like mini love letters to myself, acting as if whatever I am manifesting in this life I had already received, and to act as if the universe has already given it to me. Just another way of manifesting abundance in my life. So I do that every day, and this is the notebook I have for it. So here is I want to show you. Maybe next time I will do a computer side by side. I'm actually in the process of getting a new computer, so I might be better at it. So let's get into it. I have a couple different categories for August reset. My number one will be health and wellness, finances, home, family, personal, work, and then I have a couple other little prompts that we'll go into. So for the first one for me for the August reset is health and wellness. And the first thing I have is to go to therapy at least 3 times this month. Like I said, I was doing therapy once a week initially. Actually, it was like twice a week for the first few months, and then I would go to once a week, and then I was doing once every other week, and then I went like 9 weeks without going, and then that's kind of when it went. So I want to make sure I am back on at least once every other week, until I kind of get back into a nice structure and a nice decent mindset, and kind of go from there. Another one is to follow the guidances from my coach. I do have a personal trainer who established a workout routine for me and a meal plan. I check in every Saturday with her. I want to make sure that I'm maintaining that and following her guidance. Sleep 7 hours a night. So sleep may not seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but I suffer from insomnia. So sometimes I don't fall asleep until 10 o'clock at night, and then I'll be up at like 3 in the morning. So I want to make sure that I'm in bed, and then, you know, I am sleeping at least 7 hours. So I did get myself some melatonin, and I have some magnesium calm, and I'm taking that before bed, and that tends to help me get some good memes. So sleep for me is a priority, just because I've noticed that even when I'm in the gym, my physical fitness isn't as good as it could be. I notice my anxiety gets a little bit, it spikes a little bit. I'm more on edge, you know, all the typical. So sleep is a priority. Another one is to practice gratitude and journaling, which I have already gotten back into the routine, but I want to make sure that I stick with it because it really does set me up for a nice start to my day. I do this before I get on my phone. Like, that's why I have it at the side of my bed. So right when I wake up, I will sit down, I'll drink some of the water I have at the side of my bed, and I'll just start writing down my gratitude and my daily journaling, and it really does establish a nice start to my day. And another thing is that I wanted to, I was doing really well with it for a while, but to do a daily to-do list and to make sure I'm following along with it, it just really does help me stay. I have 3 kids, a husband, I work from home, and I have a lot going on. I have 3 kids, 3 different schools, so it's kind of chaotic, and I feel like sometimes I'm always just kind of running around like aimlessly. So I feel that if I were to establish a daily routine or a daily to-do list and at least have 5 things on my daily to-do list to get done that are important, whether it's, you know, for example, on Monday the 25th, I had to call insurance, I had to go to the gym in the morning, again in the afternoon, I wanted to deep clean my washing machine, I wanted to pick up my office, and I wanted to make sure I edited the video for Tuesday. So I had a whole other things I could have done. Those were the must to-do list. If I got any other things done at that day, then that was perfect, but at least I hit those 5. So that's my health and wellness, okay? Your categories might be different than mine because my life is different than yours, but these are what's important to me and that what I want to work on and focus my time on. The next thing is finances. So I wanted to establish a budget. So what I did was I downloaded the app called Mint, INTUIT Mint, and you basically attach all of your accounts. So I attached my banking account with this, and that's basically it. I don't have any other accounts like my savings accounts, my investment accounts and all that stuff. That's linked with my husband's stuff. Like that's all, he handles all the investments and stuff like that. Leo handles that portion of all that, our retirements and stuff like that. He kind of watches the points and all that. I don't really handle that. I know I probably should, and maybe that's something that I could plan to do and become a little bit more knowledgeable and active with. But as of right now, I don't want to. Finances are very intimidating to me. Again, it wasn't something that wasn't like my mom was really good with that. The only thing my parents always told me was that to never get a credit card. So I never had a credit card ever. So like instead of having bad credit, I had no credit, which was crazy, but I just never, my parents had gotten some credit card debt when I was younger, and that was the one thing that they kind of pounded into me. My sister's head was like, you do not want a credit card. So the credit cards I do have right now are just cards that me and my husband have together, that are like emergency or when we were fixing up the house and we would make purchases, but we paid them off right away. So as far as credit, we don't have any card payments, anything like that. All of our cars are paid for. So the only initial actual debt that we have right now is our home. And we just refinanced on that last year when the market was low. So we ended up dropping our interest rate like 3 points. And then the money that we saved, we just put towards the principal of the house. So we're pretty good with, well, it's Leo, but that's pretty much the whole thing. So anyways, I downloaded the INTUIT Mint. I know that to me, talking about finances was always like a taboo subject because you're not supposed to ever talk about that. That's like kind of the thing I was raised about. Like you never talk about like religion and politics and finances. That's like one of the things that were like taboo, and you never ask like somebody how much they weigh. I don't know, but I really want to become more transparent because I feel like also people don't understand that this is my full-time job and I make a full-time income off of this. And I feel like once I get kind of, it's the one thing I will say about this is it's going to be hard for me to establish a budget because my income changes every month. Some months my income is like spectacular, and then other months it's really not. So, you know, that's kind of why I really wanted to establish this budget so those not so good months don't hit me as hard. So anyways, I downloaded that. I included all of my accounts, and for this month of August, I just want to see how I'm spending. Do I do a lot of frivolous shopping? Where is the bulk of my money going to? I do have some bills, like I pay utilities, I pay our home utilities. What else do I do? I send Leo money for savings every month, so that goes into that. And then I pay for like my coaching, groceries, stuff like that, you know, like little, that was kind of my income was always to help out my husband's, and it was always like whatever the kids needed, utilities, groceries, and then I give some money away to Leo so he can put into the savings account for a rainy day fund. So anyways, I downloaded this so I can really see what we're doing. I'm not so much, I want to just kind of track the spending. I'm not going to set a budget right now, but I just want to see what I'm doing. I already know that a big chunk of my money is I'm going to spend a good chunk of money this month because I had to enroll my kids into school. So my daughters do, all three of them go to public school, but here in Chicago, our school, public school is not free. I was really shocked that a lot of people don't pay to enroll their kids to school. So for Rhea to go to do her senior year of high school with 2 college credit classes, hers was $500. And then to put my daughter into 7th grade for the junior high, and to do my other daughter to 3rd grade for their feeder school, both of them together were $625. So just to enroll my kids to get them in school was over $1,000. This month also we have to buy all they don't wear uniforms, so we have to buy all their back to school clothes, their shoes, their backpacks, and all of their supplies as well. So usually all of that together for 3 girls, you know, it's usually about $1,000. So I have that money kind of stocked away because I knew this was coming. So they're doing a what do you call it, like a tax-free holiday here for back to school shopping in Illinois. So this is like gonna be, I think this is the second one we've ever had, but I really want to take advantage of that and go and get them all of their stuff when that tax holiday happens. So that's why I've been waiting. Usually by now I already have it done. So that was a big thing with finances, but again, we're just starting off slow. I didn't want to be too hasty. I did see there's a couple people who offer like printouts and stuff like that, so we can do something along that lines, or I might even download a computer like spreadsheet so we can kind of type everything in. If you guys do follow a budget and have like a really good person to follow or something that'll kind of help out and guide you and like kind of initiate this, let me know down below. But my first step, my baby step, was to download that Mint app so I can kind of see like a visual representation of what I'm spending. The next category for me is home. Home for me was to develop a night routine and establish a back to school routine with the kids. So the girls start school in about 2 weeks, and I really want to establish a good nighttime routine. We're back on one right now, but I want to see how it's going to go once the girls are back in school, because in order for us to have a easy morning, we have to have a good night. So having both routines are really crucial, especially if you are a parent and you're working or whatever. It's going to help alleviate so much stress and chaos and just nonsense from your everyday life. So routines are essential. You just have to basically establish one that works for you. My routine at night may not work for you because it works for me and my family, but establish a realistic routine that will help with you and yours. And then the last thing I have is to declutter my office. So right here in these drawers, I have makeup, tons and tons of makeup. I've talked about this. If you guys are new, I am back on a fitness journey, but I was morbidly overweight. Like I was almost 300 pounds at one point. And at that time, it was really a struggle for me to keep up with trends with clothes and stuff like that. And the only thing that always fit me was jewelry, shoes, and makeup. And makeup I loved. I was a freelance makeup artist for quite some time, so I was always buying tons of stuff. So on this top drawer, I have probably 60 different foundations. Half of them are probably expired. Half of this stuff in here is probably expired. I haven't done a client's makeup since COVID. So I'm gonna go through and I wanna minimize my makeup collection, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't do it anymore. And if I were to take off and start having clients again, I would have to buy a whole new kit anyways, because this makeup is that old. So I want to get rid of all of this stuff, and I really wanna utilize my office for an office space. Like I said, I'm gonna get a new computer because mine are done. I never really bought a decent computer for this, for like YouTube and stuff, and I just been kind of making it work. But I've been saving, and it is now is a time. Rhea's friend's actually going, these kids are so genius, he's actually going to build it for me. So we're gonna go ahead and just take advantage of his beautiful brain and let him build me the computer. So I wanna go through and I wanna get rid of all of this makeup and just minimize it down to what I need every day. And I just wanna get like a little makeup bag or something like that. So then I could actually have it upstairs and I could utilize it, and I really want to put more time into myself, which will be actually mentioned again in another category. Another one is family. So family for me, like I said, I am a mom, 3 girls, and I got my husband. And one of the big things for us right now is to get the girls ready for school, make sure I have all their supplies, all their shock records are all up to date. Everybody just went for physicals, dental, and vision, so we're all good. But I still got to get everybody their hair cut, their hair, if they need to get it colored or whatever. They'll have to go see my sister, and make sure everything's all lined up. This is Rhea's senior year. Another thing on my list is to try to figure out what's going on with my daughter's car. So if you guys are new, my daughter's car was hit by a drunk driver on 4th of July. It was parked in front of our house and he smashed into it. And I've been trying to deal with his insurance. And it turned out that this wasn't even his insurance. He was driving somebody else's car, and we can't get a hold of the policy. It's crazy. It's crazy. The point of being is the kid's car is still not fixed, and it's been a month. So I need to get that taken care of. So yeah, establish a good routine for before and after school, and just to make sure, see everything, get it all pressed down. It works out when it's like, all right, we get up, this is what time you wake up every day, 7:25, we're dressed, you're out the door. I'm probably gonna have to take my oldest daughter to school. So 3 kids, 3 different schools, so it's gonna be a little bit of a drop off. And then, getting them home and stuff like that. Just like I said, structure and stability really help my kids flourish and help us have a calm home atmosphere, and I have to have a calm atmosphere, because once I feel like frantic, my anxiety kicks in, and then I get like on edge and I get like overloaded, and then I kind of like lash out, and I don't like for my kids to see me like that. And the last thing for family is it's my mom and dad's 30th wedding anniversary. So we've been married now 30 years. So 30 years on August 29th. So I want to make sure we do something nice. I thought they were going to go away, but I don't know if they're going to do that this year. But I want to make sure I do something nice for them for their anniversary. So personal, this is for personal growth. This is all about me and nothing to do with my family. And I want to read 2 books. So when I say 2 books, I mean one for fun and one for growth. The one for fun I actually got a Kindle. I didn't buy it on the Amazon Prime days. Leo bought it for me from Walmart or Target. And it was like, I'm still learning how to use this. It was like, how do you do that? Okay. It was, what do you call this? Like 40 bucks. So the book that I have to read this month, and if you guys were interested, I would really like to do a book of the month club, and we can go through and, you know, kind of talk about things. So if you guys were interested, let me know down below. I mean, we could figure it out. I don't know if we do like a Patreon for that or what. I don't know. Well, we can figure out something, or we can reconvene here every month and we can talk about the book. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. But the book for fun that I want to read is called The Perfect Marriage from JENEVA Rose. It is on the Kindle Unlimited. I do have Kindle Unlimited. It's 10 bucks a month. If you like to read a lot, which I do, I recommend. It was pretty, it's only 10 bucks and there's a big selection of books. So that's the one I'm going to read. I actually just read, Reminders of Him or something like that from Colleen Hoover. I liked it. I just actually read I was watching some girl's video and said that she didn't like it. It could have been I was like PMSing, but I cried the whole book. Like I was worthless the next day, but it was very heart-wrenching to me. But I liked it. But The Perfect Marriage is supposed to be kind of like at the edge of your seat kind of thing. So that's the book we're reading for fun. But the book for growth is going to be Radical Radiance. I got this now off of Amazon. It is by Angela Gia Kim. It's 12 weeks of self-love rituals to manifest abundance, beauty, and joy. So it says, who radiates beauty, vibrancy, and confidence that emanates from within quality, but what exactly is this irresistible magnetism that how you can develop it within yourself to manifest all the abundance, beauty, and joy that not only you crave but deserve. In this customizable 12-week self-care program, it teaches you how to nourish your inner and outer glow so your radiance shines from every pore of your being, drawing upon her Korean beauty heritage, decades of experience as a former concert pianist and founder of Savor Beauty. She reveals how the skin and soul have a lot in common. They both need purification, detoxification, exfoliation, and nourishment. Within this, you will find a profound self-love practice, how to treat your skin like the most expensive silk on the earth. Over 50 simple yet powerful self-care prompts, purposeful plans, and radiance rituals, and real-life stories to inspire you. I actually seen this on Whitney Hedrick. I love me some Whitney Hedrick. She is just like my girl crush. I want to be her. She's gorgeous. We're the same age. Like she's like not a 20-something, which I love 20-somethings, but I feel like sometimes I'm a grandma on here and I'm like, oh, and she's so, I just love her. I love her. And she makes, you know, it's funny because I was watching a lot of the girls who do these videos and they're like, I'm 25, oh my God. And I was like, oh, 25. But I really feel like you can learn something new at any age. You can start these routines at any age. You can start self-love at any age. It doesn't have to be for 20-somethings. You don't have to be embarrassed to admit at 38 you never really established a budget or know how to budget before. I feel like we need to take away that taboo and we need to be a community that says, you know what, girl, I get it, or guy, or person, they, them, whoever you are, that you can find a safe place here that where we could be honest and say, hey, you know what? My mom or dad never taught me that either. I didn't have somebody to teach me how to budget, or, you know what? I never really thought about, you know, establishing a routine to help, you know, battle my anxiety and depression and help me have a pure, clearer mind, or, you know, maybe therapy will help. I want this to be a safe place, and maybe these little routines and these monthly resets can help maybe ignite a fire within you to help you become the best version of yourself. So that's why I'm reading this. So I figure we'll read a couple pages every day and kind of get through it. So for the books of the month, Again, The Perfect Marriage and Radical Radiance. I'll leave these down below so if you guys want to check them out and let me know about the Book of the Month Club. Another one is to practice forgiveness. I need to learn how to forgive. And I read this the other day and I thought it was so inspiring. It was such an inspiring quote. Or it's saying, whatever, this wasn't a quote, just something they said. They said, forgiveness, you have to forgive because, not because you need to forgive because it's to be the bigger person or to be a better person. You don't have to forgive anybody. Forgiveness comes with accepting that the past worked out the way it did, even though you had no control of it, and even though it's not the way you wanted it to work out, you have to forgive the past because that is what it is. It's in the past. It's everything has happened, had already happened, and there's nothing you can do with it. You don't have to forgive a person, but you have to forgive the past, and you have to allow yourself the forgiveness of letting go of what didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And for me, that was just what I needed to hear. I've had a lot of moments in my life where I want to blame people for whatever misgivings or whatever trauma. I want to, you know, just hold this anger and resentment or this like, why me? And I felt like I was doing a lot of this where I was so envious of other people, and it was like, well, I did, you know, and it's just not good. You have to forgive, not for the person, but for yourself. You have to forgive situations for yourself. You have to forgive what happened for yourself because you have to heal and move on. And this month for me, I need to start really focusing on forgiving all the things that have happened and understand that it wasn't me, it wasn't maybe not even them, it's just what has had to happen in order for me to be where I'm at now. So, forgiveness. And another thing, my last thing for personal growth is spend more time on myself. I am in the gym very often, right? So I go to the gym around twice a day. And I feel like I only ever get dressed on Saturdays because Saturdays are my off days. And I really want to get a better routine established. So by the time I hit like my second, I only do the second round of cardio. I really want to just get dressed every day. Like come home, you know, finish my second round, try to get that done, and then get dressed every day. I don't have to put on like a full beat or full face of mascara, but I want to like do my hair and put on regular clothes and a little bit of makeup. Like I see like a lot of these people and they just get dressed every day. And I'm like, where are you guys going? And I used to be like, I'm not going to waste stuff, but it's like, why do I have to have a reason to get dressed? So I feel like if I force myself to get ready every day, I will be out more doing more things. And that's another thing that I have is I need to be out more. My city is very chaotic right now. There's a lot of stuff popping off in the city. So I try not to go into a lot of areas anymore just because it's real dangerous. But I really need to make sure that I'm venturing out a little bit more and not just like staying in my bubble because it gets boring and lonely here. So yeah, be a little bit more adventurous. And the last category for me is work. Work for me is going to be different from work for you unless you do what I do, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. So work for me is I want to establish branding. I'm in the middle of kind of just relearning branding. I got a nice, you know, stuff like thumbnails, the way I want everything. I want everything to be very cohesive, not only on YouTube, but also on Instagram and TikTok. I'm really trying to focus a little bit more on other social media platforms because some people feel like YouTube is dying out and you just have to always be, if you want to stay in this game, you got to be ahead of the game. So that means focusing on Reels and TikToks and branding and stuff like that. I did just see that the CEO of Instagram did say they're going back to more photo feeds. So I'll have to start making sure my photos are better. But nonetheless, focusing on that. I want to make sure I'm uploading at least 4 times a week on YouTube. Right now I'm averaging 3, but I think another 4 would be really good. I'm really trying to step outside the whole like keto diet thing and trying to be seen more than just like some like weight loss channel. Just because I don't like talking about that anymore. And I mean, it's part of my life, but it's not all that my life is. And I want to share more bits of like a 30-something woman and figuring out who she is. You know, I became a mom at 20 and I kind of just became a mom, and I kind of lost who I was, and here I am figuring out who I am on purpose. And I thought it would be really nice to share this journey with other people, right? So I want to focus on making sure I'm uploading 4 times a week, recoup and refocus every week to see what's doing well, what's not doing well, and kind of go from there, kind of study the analytics. I want to figure out all fall theme series. I love series. I love doing series. I love themes. I love fall. I love Christmas. So I thought we can do some more fall theme stuff. And then October, I want to do like spooky Saturdays and maybe start doing some more true crime and scary stories and stuff like that. I think that'd be really fun. So we'll have that coming. And then I want to secure 3 brand deals, which I have 1 in the mix for August already. We'll see about the other 2. I want to hit 62K on YouTube, 1K on TikTok, and 18K on IG. So there's no control. Sometimes my videos do really well. Sometimes, you know, I'll put up a video and just a lot of people hate it and they'll clean it out and they'll leave. Or sometimes YouTube will do a clean out, and I don't know. It just happens, you know. But these are just, there's no control. Whoever's here shows up. I love you guys. Thanks for showing up. Whoever doesn't show up, maybe come later. I don't know. There's really no control over any of these things. I just thought I'll put down numbers because why not? So yeah, that's my August reset, right? So I want to do a couple things too. What made me proud? I don't feel like I should, I want to kind of reflect on July. And July for us was pretty easy. It was a nice month, essentially. My husband's birthday, we had my mother-in-law's 70th birthday party, and we had so many people. It was really, really wonderful. We were able to almost finish our bathroom. Yeah, I thought it was a really good month. Aside from the little car issue, for overall, it was a really great month, really relaxing. The kids got to see their friends. They got to see a lot of cousins. They seen a lot of family, and we did a lot of swimming and just enjoyed life. So what made me proud were seeing my daughter's SAT scores. My daughter did really, really well in her SAT scores, and she passed all of her AP classes. So she was able to get, she'll actually start college, freshman year college with 16 college credits, which is essentially like she already has 1 semester done. So I was really proud of that. That was a proud mom moment. Another thing I was really proud of was my progress with my fitness. I've been really focused on, I've been following my meal plans, hitting the gym, and I really feel like my body is just transforming. I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling confident, and I'm feeling like really sexy in my own skin. And I feel like I haven't felt like that in a really long time, and I feel really, really good. And yeah, so I got a little, you know. And what made me proud also was realizing that I wasn't okay. I think that was a moment for me where I was like, you know what, Danielle, this isn't, you're regressing a lot, and we need to get back on our shit. And to be able to admit that you're not okay is monumental. I think being able to admit that you're not okay is probably one of the biggest actions of growth that you could take. So what was not my best, what made me sad, or what was not my best moments, was the fact that I allowed myself to not be okay again and kind of ignore it and ignore the warning signs for so long, thinking that it was like other people or other things, and I was just trying to push the blame or ignore it when I knew damn well that we were in bad territory again. So that kind of made me sad. Allowing my own feelings of self-doubt to ruin my progress. And I really feel like that came to play in work more than anything, where I just kind of felt sad and like defeated that, you know, that my videos don't perform as well as they used to, even though this is summer and summer isn't, you know, the best, but you know, where I kind of feel like am I failing, you know? And then watching other people's and just like, you know, allowing comparison to just kind of ruin me. So that was something I wasn't proud of, and this is where, you know, therapy is going to help me kind of center me again. Hate following, I'm not gonna lie, I did it, you know, where you follow people or because you think you're supposed to, because you don't want to like stir the pot, but even though you generally just don't like them, And it's okay. Like, you don't have to, I feel like that's the thing that we have to talk about, is that you don't have to like everybody, because not everybody's going to like you. And you're not a mean person for not wanting to be friends with them. It's just some people aren't meant for you to have in your life, and that's okay. But also, we don't need to harass or like belittle other people because they just don't like who you like. It's okay for everybody not to like each other, you know? So, but I shouldn't hate follow, because that just makes me really an ugly person. So I just went through and unfollowed the accounts, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? And I didn't look for them, nothing. They're just gone, and it is what it is, and I have to erase them from my memory, because if I go and look them up just to be nosy, I'm just allowing that negativity into my life. So if you're making the conscious decision to unfollow people, continue with that decision to not follow up and be nosy, because it's just going to re-trigger the bad feelings. And I think that's it. So, but I do want to use a word of the month for August. And my word of the month for August is going to be progress. This is a work in progress. Establishing a budget, paying attention to my finances, figuring out how to be on a budget, figuring out how to, you know, allocate the finances and all that stuff is a progress for me. Self-love, self-care, home, school, kids, life, work. This is all going to be a progress, and it's a work in progress. So, you know, if come September 1st and I look back on this and I don't have a bunch of check marks or whatever, and it's not where I want to be, that's okay, because this is a progress. We are just being intentional with our time, with our money, with our efforts, with our heart, with our soul, with everything. We're being very intentional and not wasting any of the good bits of us on things that don't deserve it. So this was my August reset. I'm going to leave all the books down below. Let me know if you guys want to see any more videos or any more content. We're going to do a bunch of routines, and thank you guys so much. I'm really excited for August and to see where it takes us. So if you guys are new, don't forget to subscribe. And if you've been here with me for a while, I love you so much. Thanks for riding with me, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye, friends.